Hello, 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 everyone. This is DeBarros, protector of athletes, business, employment, sports, and entertainment, attorney. I am here to share a few benefits with you for why forming a real business matters. Okay, and we're coming down to the end of the year. These are some things that you need to keep in mind, especially if you have not yet formed a business in 2020. We're going to talk about why that is going to hinder you and what you should definitely be looking forward to do in 2021 with your business. Okay, 2021 with your business. So some of the benefits of forming a real business. Now, you may probably be asking yourself, what do you mean by a real business? I'm an entrepreneur. I've started this brand. I'm actually selling stuff and I have a real business. Well, if your business is not actually formed, okay, when I say formed, registered, incorporated with the Secretary of State in whatever state that you want to register in, well, then you're not a real business, okay? And you're not a real business for a number of reasons. One, you have no tax benefits allotted to you if you're not a real business. That's number one. Number two, it will leave you hanging in terms of liability, things that happen in your business, okay? And three, if you actually register your business, there may be different places where you may want to incorporate that business. And so that in itself will also give you additional benefits. And we're going to talk about each of those things. So we know in 2021 has been a whirlwind of issues for people, right? And so some business owners and entrepreneurs, I mean, this is a year where they were able to actually meet a need for somebody, for a group of people, or shifting and pivoting in certain ways for the customer base. And so it possibly have boosted their revenue. But even in doing that, it probably also boosted their expenses, right? And so if you were someone who either gained a benefit, had major successes, you want to make sure that you can get a real tax benefit from having a real business. If you lost a lot of things and it cost you a ton of money, a ton of expenses, well, you don't want to have to pay a ton of debt at the end of the year that you may not even have, right? So one of the main benefits of having a real business is making sure that you register it, you form it, you incorporate it. And I want you to be mindful of those terms, because if you have an actual corporation, you are incorporating a business. If you have a LLC, which is a company, you are forming a company. So you want to make sure that you do that because you get tax benefits. Now, what are those tax benefits? Those are deductions. So many people run these businesses as a sole proprietor, someone who is just hanging their hat out there and saying, look, I'm open for business. I have this product or I have this service, and I want to give that to you. And I want you to pay me X amount of dollars for it. But when it comes to tax time, you're not a real business in the eyes of the United States of America. And so all of the expenses that you rack up in that year, you can't even deduct those. So now you may be asking, well, I've been operating that way since 2020, and I want to make sure that I can get my tax benefit. So can I form my business this year, like right now? Well, one thing I want you to understand is you can only deduct expenses in the year you actually form or incorporate your business, period. So if you realize a ton of expenses in 2020 for a business that you were running as a sole proprietor and you don't incorporate into 2021, you lose that benefit, and you can only deduct those benefits in the year of 2021. Okay, so that's the first issue, is that you definitely receive tax benefits. All right. Two, A lot of people are misguided in terms of what type of entity they should file. And the most popular one is an LLC. And an LLC, I will say, is an absolute great business entity, but you want to be sure that the entity you choose will serve the needs of your business, not what you're doing right now, but the needs that you foresee years down the road. So what do I mean by that? An LLC is a business entity where it has a double taxation. So your business is taxed, and you are also taxed as a person who, if you're receiving a salary from it, you're going to be taxed from that business. Okay. Now, the most popular is an LLC or an S corp. An S corp is simply a tax election. You can take an S corp election whether you form an LLC or whether you just form a regular C corporation. You can take a tax election as a C S corp, and what that means is, although your basic business entity is formed one way, for tax purposes, you want to be taxed as a certain type of entity. And a lot of people are doing these LLCs not understanding what the tax benefits or liabilities may be, not having any idea or how they want their business to be treated later, no idea of what they want to even do with the business in the future, right? So part of the advice that I give some of my clients, especially depending on the type of industry that the client business is in, you may actually be better suited for an S corp, because with an S corp, part of your tax liability, part of it is taxed to your business, but also as a shareholder, you can take distributions, and those distributions are taxed at a lower rate. Okay, so you can cut into that double taxation and save some money there, be able to put more money back into your business. So if you guys have these CPAs or accountants, or you're going to lawyer's office who are just, taking an order form for you and saying, hey, yeah, go ahead and file X, Y, and Z, or you don't have to file anything, they are giving you bad advice, and you guys need to stop that, because you are setting yourself up for failure. Okay, don't set yourself up for failure. So you want to make sure that you have some tax benefits. Okay, so make sure that you register your business so that you can take advantage of tax benefits, and those mainly are tax deductions. All right, now, not forming a legal entity will leave you completely subjected to the liabilities of your business. What do I mean by that? So if you are operating a business and have operated a business, let's just use 2020, because 2020 has been a crazy year. But if you have been running a business as a sole proprietor and you have not registered a legal entity, if something happens in regards to the service or the product that you have sold to someone, and they become injured, not injured in the sense of they hurt a leg or something like that, but injury can be money damages. Okay, they have a money injury. You told them one thing and something else happened and they suffered because of that. Okay, you will be liable for the issues that happen with that business, which means that you have no protection whatsoever with the dealings that you've been doing for a so-called business. So when you form an actual legal entity meaning a registered business, it will give you a form of protection. Now, if you work more closely with me in your business, we will talk about how you can maintain your business's structure so that you can avoid additional liabilities, okay? But generally, the idea that I want you to get here is when you actually register and form a company or incorporate a corporation, it gives you initially a shield off top, so that the things that happen in your business, the conduct that is occurring in your business, the products and services that you are rendering as a part of your business, it basically will localize any of the liability there and hopefully protect you, your personal assets, from things that may happen in the business. If you're operating as a sole proprietor, you don't have that protection. And so that's one of the benefits that forming a business will give you. Okay, number 3. This is my last one for today. When you actually register a business, you can form it in your own state, your own home state, but you can also form it in a different state. And that really just kind of depends on, number one, what's your business? Do you want some safeguards, some tax safeguards? Some states have different state tax rules. For instance, Florida doesn't tax you on a state level. It's only federal taxes. So you want to save some of that tax money and register in a state that does not have state taxes, right? But here's the caveat. And I'm actually dealing with this right now with a client who is a very well-known hair product company. When you register or when you form a company in a different state and someone says that you have hurt them, well, now your company is domiciled. Domiciled meaning you have residence in that state. So for a company, where someone would have to sue you is the place that you are domiciled, where you reside as a company or corporation, or where your office headquarters are, your main office headquarters are. Okay, so when you register in another state, you want to ask yourself, do I have the ability to get up and defend a lawsuit in another state where I don't reside, where I probably have no business there whatsoever? Think about that, because on the front end, you may receive and realize a particular benefit for registering in that state, but on the back end, the cost of doing so may not actually level up to what you thought it was going to be initially. So this also goes into the long-term planning and thinking about exactly what is your business supposed to do for you? Not now, but in the future. What do you want that to do? Because maybe those particular small benefits that you will realize on the front end may not really show up that well if something else happened and you're hauled into another state just to defend a lawsuit that someone has brought against you. Now, before I tap out, I do want to let you know, as your business grows, the bigger you get, and you want, as soon as someone sues you, you know you're getting bigger, because people are always looking for someone to blame. And if there's a company that's involved, they will definitely be putting your name on a lawsuit, because if the company is involved, they find a way to hopefully have their damages paid. Okay. So this is all the more reasons why you guys have to get serious about your business. You have to make sure that you have those tax benefits available, and you definitely need to make sure you have an attorney on your team. Now, some people may say, well, I cannot afford an attorney. I'm going to tell you, you cannot afford not to have an attorney. There are different ways that you can work with me. There are different ways that you can work with someone else, even if you wanted to. But the point of the matter is, do not leave yourself hanging like that. If you want to work more closely with me, you can sign up for a business protection session at www.sldebarros.com/contact. That will take you through the whole little small questionnaire phase where you can put in your brief information, then sign up for this session. This session is basically a business audit to see exactly where you are in your business, exactly what's there, exactly what's missing, what we need to do to tighten that up. If you are not ready for that, that's okay. You can also connect with me by signing up for my newsletters. You can go to my website at www.sldebarros.com, where I have so many issues on legal matters, especially as it pertains to businesses. And if you're more interested in issues relating to sports and entertainment, you can go over to prosportlawyer.com. And guys, make sure you definitely follow my podcast. The podcast is called What Are You Sporting About? And this is on pretty much any podcast platform. And so there are a lot of things that we talk about to help keep you educated, motivated, and guided in your business. Look, that's a free service. Get that. make sure you sign up for my newsletters. Okay, so go in and join my newsletter list. That way you receive all of the information I give people free on a regular basis. I'm talking about weekly, guys. Okay, make sure you go and get that. If you just need a regular consultation, that's fine too. You can go ahead and sign up for that as well. The point being, I don't want you to leave yourself hanging out there. And if you're not even ready for that, that's fine. Go ahead and purchase my book, What Are You Sporting About? And you can purchase that at Amazon.com, Barnes and Noble. And that book, and I'm going to show you what that book looks like. This is the book, What Are You Sporting About? Okay, and you may say, well, this book is not for me because it talks to athletes. You know what? Yeah, I do talk to athletes, but mainly I talk to business owners in this book. And this is our hardback copy, guys. And it's so beautiful. I love the way that it came out. But even in this book, because athletes who are in business, they need guidance as well. But in this book, I take you through building a business, the foundations that you need. I tell you about the particular legal issues that are most common that people are dealing with in their business. So you will definitely not be disappointed when you purchase this book. Go ahead and get this book so that you can start reading up on what you can do to create, maintain, and sustain a successful business. I truly enjoyed speaking with you guys today. This session was on benefits of forming a real business. I hope that you got something out of this. And again, connect with me on social media, all platforms at sldebarros.com, SL Law. And for What Are You Sporting About, Facebook and Instagram at What Are You Sporting About. You guys can contact me at 708-234-7298 if you are ready to go ahead and schedule your consultation or business protection sessions, or hey, just sign up for the newsletter at the website. So have a great day. Make sure that you're being prosperous and productive, and I will talk to you later. Ciao.